This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi all. Today's class is about Oracle performance testing. I hope you are aware. This is day three, and we are giving the third demo. So, if you have any questions, you can ask me then and there. So, I have written an article on Oracle database tuning from a performance perspective side. And like I have written mostly what are all the things that are covered as part of a performance testing and tuning from the Oracle database server with respect to Oracle AWR, ADDM and ASH. So before that, everyone is able to see my screen.
No.
Yeah, we are able to see.
Can you please confirm? Yes, I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, we are able to see.
All right. Okay. So if you look at here, the reason for the main intention of writing this article is to make every performance engineer to understand what exactly will happen with real time from Oracle database when you run some kind of load test or stress test or any flavor of performance testing. Okay. When a test is running, you have to continuously monitor the Oracle database to identify what exactly is happening with respect to the resource utilizations, or there are other metrics like DB time, read buffer. We have so many metrics from the AWR. So before I talk about AWR, I'll tell you a few basics from the Oracle database side. As I explained yesterday, you need to have some basic concepts from the SQL query writing, and even it is good if you have advanced SQL queries writing. You can fine tune a query, you can optimize the query, or you can analyze that query for what reason it is taking too much of time. If you have any specific response times, or if you see any abnormal response times, right, the first thing that you do is you check for all the queries which are taking very high response times. Okay, so the reason is because when you have some concurrency testing or simultaneous testing, lot of concurrent requests go to the database server and it will try to fetch huge volume of data. Okay, if there is like a break-even point testing or stress testing, or if someone wants to know the break-even point, you gradually increase the load and you try to hit the server as much as possible, and you try to pull all the data that is required from the user side. In such cases, we our goal is to have the SLA as per your business requirements, and whatever the SQL queries that you see, the high performing SQL queries, or like you have so many other metrics, you can monitor all of them to identify all these bottlenecks, and you give the potential fixes for all the Oracle database. Okay, and it is not again only the performance engineer who is doing all the optimization, database optimization. It is again you take the AWR report, you monitor majority of the metrics, and with the help of the DBA, you understand what went wrong, and accordingly you write a suggestion and recommendation what improved with what, and you publish that report along with recommendation to your customers after completing your test. Okay. So generally, like when you say something called bottlenecks, right? Bottlenecks are something that happens because of overuse of a particular component. Like if there is a large number of processing cycles that are happening from the CPU, you tend to see the CPU spinning, right, with high number of values. Like it can be 80 percent, and sometimes 90% and 92%, and sometimes the CPU stopped responding. I mean, there are no processing cycles happening. Okay, and other thing is there will be many bottlenecks from many different areas. So most of the bottlenecks, you see most of the performance bottlenecks that are just caused because of something called IO peak periods, bad SQL statements, and the bad application design. Whenever you see some kind of degradations or very poor response times from the database, you cannot directly understand it has a bad application design. Okay. So when you do something, some performance tests before the change and after the change from the database, right? There is something called execution plan. If you have some good knowledge on the execution plan, you will understand like how the performance has been improved. You never know how the application is. I mean, you don't know how the application is designed, right? How can you say the application is badly designed? So when you test or when you monitor something, you need to go back to each and every team that I mean who are sitting across the project. You need to talk to them for what reasons you are seeing all these issues. So you cannot directly jump onto a conclusion saying that application has a very bad design. Okay. So before going to AWR, the most important part here is most of the performance engineers from many organizations, they take AWRs. Okay. Before understanding AWR, right, you need to first understand what is AWR. So basically AWR is an automatic workload. It is called as automatic workload repository, automatic repository report. So what this does is it collects all the statistics, and it will let you know what exactly is happening inside your database when your test is performing. Okay? There are few indicators when it comes to Oracle database. For example, if you want to know the performance of your car, it starts with the dashboard, right? So you can see the engine heat or out of fuel indicator or handbrake indicator, and see the couple of the service indicator, and see the couple of other indicators on the dashboard. So here, the first level of debugging starts with looking at the numbers and indicators that show you something or something right or wrong that happens from the Oracle AWR report. The Oracle AWR report will give you the clear information of what exactly happened inside the database. I mean, which went wrong and which went right during a particular point of time. For that, there is something called Snap IDs. Even to capture this AWR report, for example, if you are running an 8 hours test or 10 hours test or 2 hours test, it depends on your requirement. You can take multiple AWR reports by defining the begin Snap ID and the end Snap ID. That means that you can give the start time and end time. You can take the AWR report in any interval. Okay, you can take for 30 minutes, you can take for 15 minutes, you can take for 1 hour. So it is purely your requirement. So that's what the same thing happens with the Oracle report. It gives you all the statistics, okay, for every 1 hour or for every duration that you select. It gives the all the information of what exactly happened. Okay, it will take the snapshots. Like these snapshots are like your dashboard, performance dashboard, like you where you see all your different metrics. Okay, so what will this AWR report record? I mean, what metrics it will give? What is this? There are few metrics in the AWR report, like what is DB load, what is your instance status, what is top weight events. We'll talk in some time in the upcoming classes. There is a separate session for all the AWR report. You have top weight event classes, top sequels, and much more data. But whatever I have explained just now, these are all the top 5 parameters that every performance engineer will consider when you take an AWR report. The first one is what is DB load? The second one is what is the instance status? What are all the top weight events and the top weight event classes and the top SQL statements? Okay, so you need to understand in what way the snapshots will help, what these snapshots will do. Okay, by taking multiple snapshots, it will capture the status of DB and stores all the data, uh, which we call as snapshot itself. There is something like as I told you just now, there is something like snap ID, begin snap time and begin snap date. Again, the end snap time and end snap date. Okay, when you give these criteria, the time between these two values, it will capture that snapshot and it will completely tell you like what happened. Okay, the second question is, so did you get a chance to take AWR report? Anyone from the class? Did you ever get a chance to take a AWR report? No one has taken the AWR report. Okay, so do you know at what frequency we need to take these snapshots? Let's say that I am running a test for 8 hours. So how many snapshots I have to take?
We can take 8 snapshots, like an hour each.
Okay.
Yeah, based upon like.
Yeah, let's say that I'm doing something called endurance testing, where I'm completely focusing on throughput instead of response time. It means that it will take it will fetch a lot of data. So how many snapshots do you take?
So usually we like break up into like a shorter period of time, like hour and 1 hour. So that gives an idea like where exactly or at what point there is a issue with respect to the memory or something related to queries we can identify. So that is what we supposed to do. So in terms of endurance testing, I'm not sure like if you take the complete data 8 hours, so that is going to give a proper data.
Okay.
I think in this case, what we can do is we can start a snap, take one before the test, take one at the starting of the test, and then at regular intervals of maybe half an hour or 1 hour, and then take one at after the end of the test, and then after the test.
Yeah. Yes. You perfect. Actually, you can take as many snapshots as possible, but here, so if I mean, if like for example, if I am taking a snapshots for every 1 hour, actually Oracle
Your voice,
Oracle. Sorry.
in between, your voice is like coming out, not coming clear.
Okay, is it clear now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so Oracle automatically takes snapshots for every 1 hour. Okay, so if you are taking more snapshots, right, for every 10 minutes or 15 minutes, most of the times, if you're using undersized configurations of your Oracle DB, especially people who run on the limited hardware software sizing environments, some test environments, if you're taking more snapshots, right, it will become a space issue, right? Most of the times you will start seeing this space issues. So if every time it is taking snapshots, it will show some impact on the table space. That is the only problem. Or else you can take, if you have a sufficient configuration from your on your test environment for your DB, you can take many AWR reports. And most of the times, we generally take 2 snapshots for every 1 hour, or we take a snapshot for 1 hour. Okay, because because all the performance related matrices, right, they all reside in the table space. Whatever that has been captured and whatever the reports that are, whatever the data that has been captured from the inside the AWR, that will be stored in table space. When you take multiple snapshots, so it will have a space issue from the table space. But again, by default, in a normal DB, these snapshots are kept only for the last 7 days. Okay, and you can customize this value. Whatever the AWR reports that you are taking, it will save that AWR reports only for the last 7 days data, and after that it gets okay. And also we have a mechanism to increase it in case we require or need to store more number of days. We can modify that parameter DBMS
Your voice is
workload.
very feeble. So not able to getting, I mean, proper,
So is everyone facing the same issue? Is my voice not clear?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, it's breaking intermittently.
It's like in between. It is coming from a far distance.
All right.
It looks like
Okay.
the microphone is far away in between. Sometimes.
Is it better
Regularly.
now?
Yeah, it's better.
Or I'll connect my headset.
Yes.
One moment. Give me one moment.
Yeah.
Am I audible now? Is it better?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Is my voice clear?
can
Yes,
carry.
sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. So what I'm saying is we have a mechanism to increase if in case if we need to take and store more number of AWR days, AWR reports for days, we can modify that parameter called DBMS underscore workload underscore repository package in order to increase, decrease, or modify the limit, okay, of how many days we can store this data. Okay. So anything which is related to snapshot setting, we have other places. I can show you that path when I take a session on this AWR report. And all the issues regarding this performance issues, any team will report then and there, like today morning or today afternoon or today evening. Nobody will report an issue like we have an performance issue from the AWR report some 20 days back. So what if you're taking a AWR report yesterday, or if you are taking an AWR report today, whatever the issue that you're seeing in the AWR report, you have to then and there report it to the DPA, because the report they may not be repeatable at all the times. If you take multiple AWR reports for days, like from the last 21 days, and you cannot see that I have seen an issue before 3 weeks back, and you have to look into that. So the issue with Oracle database and AWR is, whenever you see some abnormality from the AWR report, you have to directly report to the DBA. You have to get help from the DBA and to understand where this issue is happening. Okay. Like there are some important questions that you have to know. Like for example, I have taken a snapshot at 11:10. Like snapshot 1, and if I have taken a snapshot for after 1 hour, like 12:10, and another 1 hour 13:10, it is 1:10 p.m. Okay, I have taken 3 snapshots. Now someone reported there is a performance issue, like the DB was slow between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, and after 2 p.m. everything seems to be normal. Let me write snapshot 1 from 10 to 11, snapshot 2 1, and snapshot 3. Or if I'm taking for 11:10 and 12:10 and 1:10, now someone reported that there is a performance issue, like the DB was slow between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and after 2 p.m. everything seems to be normal. So now tell me, do I have to take the AWR report from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. directly, or do I need to take multiple AWR reports for this 3 years duration?
So multiple will be required.
Can you tell me why?
So to analyze for the different times, like 10 to 11, there might be some changes due to the load, continuous load.
Okay, you're right. So if you have 3 hours of test or 4 hours of test, if you start seeing the response times, or start seeing the high throughput at a certain period of time, right? A certain point of time. So when you have multiple AWRs, you will directly go to that report, like for that 15 minutes duration, and you will understand. You will start seeing what exactly happened with all the metrics at that point of time. That is how you analyze the AWR report. Okay. Now I'll not. The answer is, we will not generate AWR report starting from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. directly, 1 p.m. directly. I'll take multiple AWRs reports to identify the root cause, and to catch my I'll start identifying bottlenecks at that point of time, like what happened. So the main point here is, now coming to the main point. So how to generate AWR report? Okay, I'll show it to you in our setup how to generate, and I'll explain you like how we have to take an AWR report. There is a user role called sysdba. Sysdba can generate AWR. You can log into Oracle database using SQL Plus. Once you connect to the database, it is very simple. It is dead simple. There is only one script that you need to run. There is a folder called uh, Oracle Home. Okay, for everything. Let me write the path. Home.
So these AWR reports can be taken from the only Oracle servers, or it can be taken from the different flavors of database servers.
There are multiple reports. There are different multiple reports with respect to the database that you're using. AWR is only for Oracle.
Okay, what about other server, SQL servers and the like IBM server, IBM DB server? So for those, how can we get the DB stats?
Yeah, we have a separate class for that. We will discuss all of that in the upcoming class in the Oracle session. However, anyway, we are covering only Oracle, MySQL Server, and Postgres. Not all the databases, but we'll clearly explain you what are all the other statistics, what are all the reports that you have to take considering your own database. Like if you're using Postgres, you have different statistics and different reports that you have to capture. And MySQL, I'll tell you. Okay.
Okay.
Because there is a lot of other stuff that has to be discussed with respect to matrices or with respect to data that we are capturing for every individual database. So we'll take it up in the next, I mean, in the next AWR session. When we talk about AWR, I'll explain you very clearly all about all these databases, reports, matrices collection. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the path. This is the script that you have to execute, and this is the location where the RDBMS scripts RDBMS scripts that are provided by Oracle resides. And in this script location, we do have a report called awr report.sql. This is the report. You have to go to that place and you have to hit enter. Then the script will get executed, and the first thing it will, once you run the script, right, the first thing that it will ask is enter value for report type. This is the first step. Okay. So the report type can be HTML or text or HTML. It is always, most of the times you take this HTML report. Okay, I give HTML and I give enter. Once you hit enter, this will give the details about the current instance. Okay, it says that it will open that instance and it will say that enter. From that instance, it will ask you this value. Enter the value of days. Okay, example, like I write some past 3 days we are taking. It'll give some 3 days or something. This is where the actual performance tuning starts. Okay, once you give the report type, you understood, right? The first thing is you connect to the Oracle database through SQL Plus. You log in as a sysdba, and there is a script. There is only one script that you need to run from this path. The path is under your Oracle Home RDBMS admin AWR report.sql. This is the location where the RDBMS scripts provided by Oracle resides. And in this script location, we have a report called AWR RPT.sql. You need to go to this path. You need to enter. You need to execute this. Script by hitting enter. It will automatically execute. And the first point that it will ask you is enter the value for report type. It is nothing but you have different types there. It is HTML, text, and active HTML. I selected HTML, and once you hit enter, and this will give you the details about the current instance, whatever the instance that you have. That instance, it will ask you enter the value of days. You can enter 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. So once you enter this value of days, you will see the details of every snapshots with snap IDs. Okay, sorry, you will see all the snapshots for every 1 hour, which are automatically taken by Oracle database, and that snapshots will be listed there, and it will give you the snapshots with something called snap IDs, which are unique to each of the snapshot for every individual snapshot. So for all the performance issues, you need to know the timing. When did the issue occur? So you directly need not go with the performance degradation at what time it happened. You first initially you need to have the timing ready, like for how many hours you have run the test. You ran the test. For example, if it is 3 years, then you have some issues. You have taken a snapshot. The snapshots are already taken for every 1 hour by Oracle database. If you think that you need more snapshots for every 15 minutes, you need to go back to that path. There is a setting. You need to go to that setting and you need to customize that value, and you can take the snapshots for every 15 minutes. Okay. The reason for taking multiple snapshots, let's say that if I am taking currently, when I did a database performance replication testing, I am taking a snapshot for every 10 minutes. Okay, I have taken a snapshot for every 15 minutes. Per hour, I have taken 5 snapshots, 6 snapshots, and 4 snapshots also. So it depends on you, on how you can take, and if you don't have any table space issues, you can take multiple snapshots. It will be easy for you to identify or to catch the bottleneck from the database side. Okay. So if I'm running a test based on our example that is discussed, if you're running a test from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, I'm taking 3 snap IDs, and I see some issues at a particular point, I'll go back and see my AWR report from 12:30 to 1 o'clock. Okay, during that time, we pick up those snap IDs and then generate AWR report between these snap IDs. So I have got too much of high response times in the third snap, which is 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Then again, I try to take multiple snapshots, like 4 snapshots, and I'll thoroughly look into all the matrices, all the values in AWR report to see where the performance has been impacted. Okay. So I already told you, right? So we generate only one AWR or multiple AWR reports. We can generate multiple AWR reports, and we will generate multiple AWR reports to understand from where the issue is. So it is not like we have to take multiple snapshots again. It purely depends on your requirement, but taking multiple snapshots as much as possible, it will be very helpful to identify the performance degradations at a particular point of time. Okay, as per the Oracle's recommendation, we should go for multiple AWRs so that we will get to know the in-depth details of what exactly happened during each hour. So if the test is only for 1 hour or 2 hours, then you have to take multiple AWRs reports, right? One AWR report will give you only the average of all your problems in your database of the entire duration. If I want to take an AWR report from 10 to 12, and if the Oracle is down, what will happen? You understood my question? If I want to take a AWR report from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and if all of a sudden the Oracle database is down, what will happen? Do you get an AWR report? Any idea? Anyone?
No, I think.
Right. You will not get this AWR report. Okay. You will get an error. If the Oracle database is down, right, you cannot take a snapshot, and it will throw you an error. And most of the times there should not be any database shutdown when you try to take a snapshot with 2 snap IDs. Especially production generally is not down, but if you are when you are working on any other test environments, right, you won't get an AWR report when a DB is shut down, and that shutdown happens in test environments and performance environments. Okay, so
I have one doubt here. Suppose when you are taking the snapshot 12 to 1, so there is replicated DB. So it upon running replicated DB, if it fails, how we gonna get that details?
no, you mean to say that your server will be down? Then you want to take a snap?
No, actually, when I'm running DB1, so due to so many requests or something, so 70% requests are done. So it's they're navigating to some other DB2. So that time, how can we get the all details?
Yes, you
of
can get
DB1?
all the data. So you mean to say that you are talking about two different databases. Let's say that in
Yes,
your
yes.
environment you have Oracle 1 and Oracle 2,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you can take AWS reports of multiple databases.
Okay,
So you
so
have to log
do I
into
need to
your
follow
yes.
the same thing in DB2 as well? Do I need to run?
Yes, you have to take the snapshots like you followed for the Oracle database one. So that is the best practice.
Okay.
So there is something like a DB visualizer, or there are some other tools where you connect to multiple databases. But I don't know how far again your DB visualizer is there. It can connect to any of the database tool, and you can get all the informations. But I don't think so. Most of the customers will try to afford budget to all the third-party external tools to connect to various DBs. So I mean, it is very simple actually. So you can directly log into any of the database, and you can get all these AWS reports and other statistics. But only challenge thing here is most of the performance testers, they don't get access to the database, especially if they're working on production environments or prod like environments. But again, it is you who has to take the complete control of Oracle DB. And if you want to work on this Oracle performance tuning, you need to get the access. Somehow you need to convince your customer, and you have to create an opportunity to work on that area, and you need to get that access. There are few sensitive clients again. You cannot do anything from that. No access will be given to any of the performance engineers. If you take JP Morgan, or if you take any Bank of America, there are dedicated teams sitting across the projects, and no performance engineer will get any access to the Oracle database. Okay, so this is I mean a very high level concept of AWS report. Okay, uh, there are other things like how to read the AWS report. Is it a different science, or what do you understand from AWS report? There is an in-depth walkthrough on most of the important things that we should focus when we talk about the Oracle AWR, ADDM, ASH. We'll talk everything in detail, and again, this is a very limited scope for a performance engineer. Even if it is a performance testing guru who has worked in engineering tuning activities for years, it will be a challenge for him. He will need a DBA, or will need 4 to 5 hours to explain all the matrices in AWR, which is not at all possible. So uh, the most important task here is how to read the AWR report. What are all the main metrics that you have to consider? So what you need to understand from different metrics that you see in AWR. So what that metrics are saying. So this is not a different science, but you need to you will understand. But again, we will not go in depth of each and every individual metric what we have in DBA, AWR. Even if it is not possible for a senior DBA to explain all of them, it will take some 4 to 5 years if you want to understand them. So this is a very high level class about AWR report. And in Oracle database, as I told you yesterday, if you remember. So let me ask you one question here. So all of you are performance engineers, right? I mean, performance testers. You got some handful experience for years. Everyone. So everyone is working in performance, right?
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell me some problems that you have seen from the database side? At least one problem. Anyone?
We have seen like we used to check with the SQLs where it used to take more time. So like high consumption with respect to the response time. So that usually we used to observe from the database point of view.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, majorly the SQL thing, we used to face some issues where some kind of application used to take more time to execute that particular SQL. Then we would suggest DBA to look into that and get some tuning done to check any table related or anything related to SQL queries needs to be tuned.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, to some extent, yeah. Yes, you're right. And because again, it is not that you're right or wrong. It completely depends on what task that you're performing. You see hundreds and hundreds of issues from the database side. It is not
Yeah,
that one single issue.
yeah.
Uh,
There are a lot of other things also like hard pass, out pass, where we need to check on those things. So we need to identify those things. Those are like tedious job where we have limited time to be showcased and to be given to the client. So we usually check like around top 10 SQLs, which used to give like any worst like executing SQLs. So that kind of thing we used to give because of the limited time.
okay. So thank you. I'll tell you very high level things here. Anyhow, I'll explain everything in detail in the upcoming classes. So most of the performance problems that you see from the Oracle DB are IO peak periods. Okay. And the second thing is not the second thing. This is the first one. Always the first issue is with the bad SQL statements. So they are called high load SQL statements. And you have IO peak periods, and you see most of the issues because of bad application design or bad execution plan or improper schema design. There are other issues. Okay. Now, when we talk about this Oracle performance issues, right? You have two types of issues. One are caused by environment, and one are caused by database. Environmental performance issues are like completely from the Oracle on the setup from the setup side. So the first thing that you see is CPU bottlenecks. You see high CPU, okay, and you see memory issues. Yeah, there is if you give there are two different memory areas. One is system global area, which is SGA, and the program global area, which is PGA, and there is something called buffer cache. We'll talk about these three things going forward. So when you give this undersized memory structures, right, with sys global area and program global area and buffer cache, you will start seeing more performance issues. And you will also see issues with the disk IO and network IO. You may think that how do we get all these issues? Oracle has got too many metrics, and you can monitor all of that metrics. And to understand what happened from the Oracle database, the first thing you need to understand what is each metric. Okay. Most of the people still don't know about something called context switching. If I ask you now, my switching is increasing, and my switching is always decreasing and increasing in my 1 hour test. What is your recommendation on that? I'm not saying that no one is aware of that or no one knows that, but there are metrics. Okay, when you monitor something, it is our job to understand what is the use of that metric, what that metric is actually saying. Okay, if you see the disk IO and network IO, or if you see some buffer cache value high, you need to understand what is that buffer cache, how does it impact the performance of Oracle when buffer cache is very high. And there are some memory structures in every server. You need to understand that memory structures. Before you start your engineering, I would like to add one point here. That point is, you need to understand the basics of CPU, the basics of memory, the basics of network, and the basics of disk. Okay, every time, even if you remember, if you take your own experience, everyone, even if you remember, if there is a question as such asking you what are the bottlenecks that you have identified, your answer is immediately high CPU utilization, out of memory exception, out of memory error. Okay, there is a deadlock from the database. We should understand why these deadlocks happen. There are deadlocks in threads, there are deadlocks in DB. So you need to understand some basics before you go into performance engineering. So I would strongly recommend and suggest everyone to learn all the important basics from memory footprints, from memory basics, CPU basics, and disk basics and network basics. Okay, you need to understand when, if you have 4-core CPU and 5-core CPU, you need to understand how each core in the CPU will work. How does the processing cycles work? So if you're increasing 8 from 4 cores to 8 cores, it will increase the processing cycles, but it will not improve the performance. It may improve the performance, but if it is improving the performance, you need to understand how it is improving. Okay, so whatever the bottlenecks that I have identified, the CPU bottlenecks, the undersized memory structures with respect to system global area, program global area, buffer cache, the disk IO and network IO, they are caused by environment. Okay, there are other few bottlenecks which are caused by database. Someone explained me just now, right? We will talk about what is parsing, soft parsing and hard parsing. So if you have high SQL parsing, that is a bottleneck from the database side. Okay, you will have every time a new user comes into the database, or if there is a simultaneous or concurrent hitting, so it will establish new database connections repeatedly. So that will show some bad impact on the performance, right? If it is establishing new connections, new DB connections repeatedly, it means that too many requests are coming. Then the utilizations of memory and CPU are obviously increasing. The network IO is increasing. The disk IO is increasing. So when you have new connections, you need to check how many new connections are coming. So are they valid DB connections? And the third point is you will have high levels of contention for small amount of data. This is called application level block contention. Okay, it means that a simple query will struggle to fetch very small amount of data. It will not be able to fetch that data. It means that there is an issue from that query, or there is some issue with the contention. You will have so many levels of contentions. There is something called high levels of contention for small amount of data. This is called application level block contention. This simply means that a simple query is struggling to get a small amount of data. When number of users are increasing to get that data for multiple times, you will see a bottleneck. Now the DBA has to fix such situations and scenarios. Okay, they're very simple things. And the last important point is DB configuration issues. So you will have, if your configurations issues are not given properly, you will start seeing so many issues from the Oracle database. These bottlenecks are purely from the database side. If you want to record all the log files to understand what exactly is happening, and if you give the incorrect size of log size filing, it will not record all these log informations into the log file, right? Half of the information will be recorded if I give undersize limit of my log file. You understood this point? So if you give incorrect size for the log files, right? What log files will do? It will record all the communication that is happening between the client and the server, most of the times from the server, database server and other servers. So if you give undersized configuration, if you give undersize of that log file, it will stop recording, and you may not troubleshoot. You may not understand from what is the exact issue. What is the exact issue? Okay, and even if you set too many checkpoints, it will stop then and there every time during execution. It will stop then and there. It will take too much of response time, which will impact the performance again. Okay, so this is all about Oracle DB, and at a very high level, one simple question: how do we fix performance of Oracle DB? You can give me any answers. I'm okay with it. So how can we fix if you if I'm your interviewer? My question to you is very simple. How do you fix performance for a database? Any database. You can give 2 points, or you can
Check
tell
the
me one.
indexes. Yeah, check the indexes if indexes are there in place, and if required, then we can go for increasing the table spaces.
Okay. Anything else? That is 1 point. No one? No one worked on DB?
So we need to check the explain plan, and then we need to check the CPU bytes used, like time elapsed and all.
Okay. So many people, right? So many people joined. Krish, Anil, Anupam, Chelua, Dev. Anyone? So that's what. See, these are very common questions that you face in every interview. Every interview. Every interviewer will ask you in every opportunity, so what is your take on the Oracle database? So a simple question: what is your approach in fixing the database performance? So you understood that you have got many performance issues from the Oracle database. Now, what will be your plan? What will be your approach towards fixing the performance of Oracle DB or any DB? How do you know that you have issues from Oracle database? You did not do any performance testing, but how do you know that you have got so many issues from the Oracle database side?
Like with the time a particular query is taking. If
Okay.
the particular query is taking a long time, then we can like go drill down with that query and check whether what kind of data it is fetching, and then if required, we can put indexes over there for that query. We can requery. I mean, the query is not properly written.
Okay. So thank you. So the first thing is you need to understand the changes in the application, okay, or the way it is used. Got it? If you don't do any performance testing, so you need to understand if there are any changes in the Oracle DB. Okay. The second most important point is you need to get feedback from the real users. Got it? So, and there will be changes in the host hardware configuration. You need to understand if something has been changed with respect to hardware and software. You need to get feedback from the real-time users. You need to understand the application changes. You need to understand the Oracle DB changes, or if something is changed from the schema side, or from the performance planning side, or instant tuning side, or SQL tuning side. You can get all this information before you take some action on the Oracle database, and you need to baseline your DB database by collecting application statistics, database statistics, OS statistics, disk IO, and network statistics. You need to take all of them to understand how your DB is performing, and accordingly you should plan. So in what way you can optimize the database informations, like you have some hardware changes, you have some database configurations, you have schema changes, you have application changes, and the last point, you have so many uh, tools for Oracle database tuning. Okay, you it comes with Oracle Enterprise Manager. From the Oracle data diagnostics Oracle diagnostics pack, you have AWR, as I told you, automatic workload repository report. Uh, you have ADDM, automatic database diagnostic monitor, which is an inbuilt tool from the Oracle database itself. Okay. Uh, it will directly take an automatic data, it will give you automatic recommendations, DB recommendations, what has to be optimized. And from the Oracle database tuning pack, you have two things: SQL tuning advisor and SQL access advisor. There is also called SQL performance analyzer. We will talk about all these things in detail in the upcoming sessions. Okay, we'll tell you, we will teach you what are all the different areas that you need to look at, how to read the AWR report, how to tune SQL statements, how to identify high SQL statements, how to tune them using SQL tuning advisor. Okay, how do you optimize data access path, and how do you analyze the SQL performance impact by using SQL performance analyzer tool. So if you talk about Oracle AWR, there is a lot more things that we can discuss. But however, we have streamlined some points, some important content that is really required for the performance engineers, considering the market from the last 2 years. So again, this is all about today's class. I would recommend you to install. You can download Oracle. Now the Oracle version comes with cloud. It is some 19 dot some version. If you don't want that, you can go back. You can go to Oracle site. Okay, let me show it to you. I'll give you one assignment. If you want to learn, you have to follow that. Okay. This is a step-by-step procedure. You can please spend some time. Okay. Follow the steps. If you look here, what is Oracle database? Install Oracle database server, download Oracle sample database, create Oracle sample database, connect to Oracle database. Don't worry about all this string data manipulation, all these commands. You don't need all of them. If you want hands-on, the first thing that you need to do is, if I say you have to log in as SDBA, most of the people who did not work on Oracle DB, uh, who are very new to Oracle DB, they don't even know how to connect, in how many ways we can connect to Oracle DB. If you cover these 4 topics, what is this Oracle database? Install Oracle database server, download Oracle sample database, create Oracle sample database, and connect. There is a sample database with lots of records, lots of data. You can work on that. Okay, you will understand the basics of Oracle database, so that it will be easy for you when I explain it to you directly. Okay, when I show it to you, you will feel it very easy. So that's why I want everyone to go to Oracle tutorial.com, do all these activities. All right. So any questions?
Yeah, actually, I understand. Like, if it's of a endurance test where the response time is not a matter, we can take an AWR report. But if you are doing a normal peak load, a 1 hour steady state, is it recommendable to take a AWR report, or will it
Yes.
create a spike at the if we take an AWR report?
Yes, you have to take. The reason is because that's what. See, if you go to Oracle, right? There are few scenarios where I have tested. I have to test with 20,000 users for half an hour on production environment. Okay, if your user base is very high, and if you're running a test for a very small amount of duration, I have tested for 15 minutes also. 15 minutes concurrency testing with 20,000 users. But when you do that, you need to take the AWR report. Okay, for your question, if you ask me, if I see a sudden spike in CPU, what does it mean from the Oracle? So there is something called active session history, ASH report. So you have to go to that report and see ASH. So if you see any spike in database activity, right, the causes of spikes in database activity, you need to access ASH page to find out which sessions are consuming most DB time. For that, you don't really need to take AWR, but AWR report is important and required to look at all other different issues. But for your scenario, you will go to ASH to find out which session is taking high amount of DB time, which is consuming most of the DB time. You will monitor event wise, class wise, module wise, and yeah, instant ID and PL SQL function wise.
Okay.
So is my answer clear, or you want me to explain?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? All right, I'm done for today. Thanks for your time. Thanks all of you. So going forward,